What up, everybody? Well, I don't know what time it is, but earlier, um, way hours ago, I saw a video that Bftb made, and it was another Crawford video, and I would put it to you guys like this, right? Who do y'all rather believe? Someone on social media that is not part of any negotiations, never been a part of any type of negotiations, never uh not in Crawford's ear, not in Spence's ear, not in Al Heyman's, not in none of Crawford's lawyers' ears, none of that. Who you rather believe? That person or somebody who works for the PBC, Timothy Smith, who told everybody that he didn't believe versus the fight Earl versus Terrence was going to happen. That's what he said earlier this year, right? You can say whatever you want to. If you're negotiating with somebody and you're talking to somebody for the course of 3 or 4 or 5 months, at that point, you are in a situation to where you let something go on too long without a backup plan. A lot of fighters have backup plans when their negotiations doesn't go as planned. You see what I'm saying? A lot of things with Terrence Crawford, right, is not that's being said. The same things are not being directed at Earl Spence. Earl Spence can show the draft contract, but everybody want to ask Terrence Crawford. Earl Spence can name some of his demands, but Terrence Crawford has to name his list of demands, right? And the list goes on and on, as we can see from the beginning to the negotiations to the time they ended. All we heard was things, negativity wise, on Terrence Crawford part, whether or not it was Daniel Kinningham, whether or not it was the 20 or 25 plus million that he was demanding for his cut, or it was he wants to see the books. All of which has been confirmed to be a lie or not a hindrance to the fight being made. And we can agree on that. But a lot of people were in agreement on those with the hindrances. Right? And if you want to argue any of this, you need to go back and look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that, first of all, you was not in Terrence Crawford's shoes. You was not in Earl Spence's shoes. And you have never been in their shoes. Those are the first things you need to do. The second thing you can say is, well, the other side to the story, if I want to say, why does he need to see the books, would be, it's his career. It's his pockets. It's in his best interest. And then when you hear things of he needs representation, he needs a promoter, he needs this, all that's They ain't nothing but a whole bunch of pimps telling. They ain't a whole bunch of pimps telling the hoe they don't need to be out here renegading. Nobody would tell. Who's going to tell Canelo that? Who would tell Floyd that? Who would tell anybody out there that will bring a fight to the table that you need a lawyer? I mean, you need better representation. When you're representing yourself just fine out there, when you're on your way to be making that kind of money against somebody a lot of fighters have never heard of, including the platform. So, and I don't want to hear about embezzling money or Daniel Cunningham with BLK Prime, because obviously you guys don't know how hard it is to embezzle money. And don't give me them little Jewish dudes with the FTX thing, because if people was really watching them, they would have been caught. They would have been caught. If people was watching them and stuff like that, their whole family was in with the SEC and all that shit. They had to hook up. So don't give me that. So that's over with that conversation. Now back to the question at hand. Right? BFTB's video. Who are you willing to believe? Someone that's not Terrence Crawford, someone that's not Spence, or people that's in the game? The dude that's in the game, Timothy Smith, told everybody he didn't believe the fight was going to happen because the money, right, to put up for the fight wasn't right. He didn't believe they had it. And he works for PBC. Stephen Espinoza was trying to tell everybody to stay optimistic. You see what I'm saying? If he's constantly telling people to stay optimistic, obviously Aint wasn't nothing signed. Obviously, it was still a toss-up. Right? Now, if the fight was to happen on November 19th, Crawford would have been out of the ring for a whole year. A whole year. Right? In that whole year, he would have been out of the ring. People would have been calculating ring rust. Right? So, miss me with that. And miss me with well, since you said that, then why didn't he fight before that? He couldn't fight before that because he was negotiating with motherfuckers. Why would you negotiate for 4, 5, 6, or 7 months with somebody and you don't want the fight to happen? And you're sitting out beside the ring, twiddling your thumbs the whole time. And don't just give me one answer, give me a couple. Make it seem like you at least made an effort to at least try to figure out something. Because you can't just go with the first thing smoking. Because that's what they would do. This whole Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence thing, we only know about 20, maybe 25, 30% of the actual information that they were actually talking about and negotiating with. We only know what they tell us. And that's it. And what they have been telling us, for me, is not enough to really put a blame on any one of these fighters. It's not enough. Spence ain't calling Crawford a duck, and Crawford ain't calling Spence a duck. But all you people, a lot of people out there, a lot, not all, but a lot of people out there have more energy towards Crawford than Spence has energy for Crawford. Like all the energy y'all putting towards Crawford, Spence ain't got it. Spence ain't got the energy. Spence ain't got it. People call people who speak like me Crawford protectors or budget protectors or whatever the case may be. But what they fail to realize is, then what are they? If you on the other side saying Crawford's this and Crawford's that, then what are you? Are you supposed to be some outstanding vigilante? Outstanding citizen? What are you supposed to be? Aren't you something? See, because a lot of you people fail to realize is that at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, with this Crawford and this Earl Spence thing, is that them two is gonna make the fight when they ready. I don't think either side is ducking. They're gonna make that fight when both sides is ready. When Mr. I'ma talk to Al, aka no comment, Earl Spence team get it together, and when Crawford and his lawyers get it together, his representation get it together, then the fight will happen. But it's definitely not going to happen because of some fans thinking they know more than these promoters and these managers, these network executives, and these streaming apps. You don't. If that's the case, y'all asses would be making 3-4 fucking videos a day, 2-3 fucking live streams a day, just to make ends meet. You'll be on somebody's payroll. But you can't be on somebody's payroll when you don't have enough time for them because you have more time for making your little videos. You know? Hopefully this is my last fucking video making about Terrence Crawford after watching or hearing about what people are saying on social media about this fucking fight. I think a lot of people out here need to grow the fuck up. Just grow the fuck up. The fighting happened and find something else to fucking look forward to. Hanging around, waiting for two dudes to fight, always on a fucking jock strap, always on their motherfucking comments and shit like that. When they comment on social media, is the unbecoming of a fucking man. It's the unbecoming. Find something else to fucking talk about. Find something else to do. Because I definitely will. And I already have. You know what I'm saying? That's just straight, and that's just period, man. You got all these fights out here, and everybody found out that the most lucrative thing for them to talk about on social media is Crawford and Spence still. People still looking, either it's Twitter or YouTube or whatever. People still fucking trending on likes and view counts off of bum bashing Crawford. Ain't that something? Some dude, y'all giving this. Look, good publicity is bad publicity, man, at the end of the day. No coming around here talking about he was just, he hurt BOK Prime's pay-per-view sales by talking about this and that. Nah, man, you can't read. You can't read. You said a lot of y'all. He didn't say all y'all. And we all know he was talking about the same dudes that be in his comments every single time with the negativity. That's who he was talking about. But a lot of motherfuckers out there can't read and comprehend. Right? And the ones that can read and comprehend, they on Crawford's ass because Crawford made them look bad. Over here talking about a November 19th date. And it didn't happen. So now you got to flip the script and put it all on him. Because you stuck your neck out so far, motherfuckers saw how dumb you was. Motherfuckers out there talking about they buying tickets and shit like that already. Fight ain't even motherfucking signed. And you got people in PBC telling you it ain't happening. But then you want to give me some shit that Stephen Espinosa said. Yeah, he knows some stuff, but he don't know everything. He'll get it. He'll get just enough to get by so he can go tell his peoples. But he ain't getting everything. He getting more than us. I give it that. But you mean to tell me he know more than some dude that work at PBC that's telling y'all? That's the shit I don't understand. There's a lot of shit I don't understand. Is that a lot of people don't even have any sources, and they don't even know how to use their sources. And the case in point is, years ago, people were crying about Terrence Crawford not doing any interviews. Wanting him to do interviews. Talking about him not doing interviews equates to why he doesn't have, his viewer counts are low. Now all of a sudden he opens his mouth, y'all don't even know what to do with it. Motherfuckers acting like a 23-year-old woman that just started sucking dick. Don't know what to do. Bitch want to eat all around the dick. Damn. I can't help you, motherfucker. I can't help you. Only thing I can tell you to do is get up off your knees and stop begging the nigga, please. Get up. Because at the end of the day, Crawford and Spence really don't give a fuck. If they really gave a fuck, they would be real adamant, even at this moment, about making that fucking fight, and they're not. They're talking about going their own ways. I don't need this dude. Blah, 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 whoop, whoop, whoop. They moving on. Huh? Like I said, like the reading and comprehension and levels of actually seeing the play on playing field, it ain't been going properly. Everybody act like they know how to read the streets on social media. They know how to move and maneuver through certain neighborhoods and all that shit. And they try to take all their they try to take all their little life experiences and then try to say, this is why I'm valid to talk about this shit. To tell you that Crawford's ducking, or to tell you that Earl is ducking. None of your life experiences can equate to what these dudes are negotiating for. The magnitude of it, you guys have never, on an individual level, like you are the product and you are the investor all in one. Because when you sign that contract, you solely responsible. So when Crawford asked to see the paperwork and wanted to see the books and all that shit, he was rightfully so to ask for it because he is solely responsible for what he signs. He's supposed to trust the lawyers, trust the manager, trust the promoter, and or his advisor that the contract is of good standing on his part and true and correct. That's what it is. And that's the reason why, like I said earlier, you guys letting all these weird stuff push you out. Why would another promoter or promoters tell a fighter that he needs good representation going into negotiating? For a percentage and not a flat rate. Or for anything. You shouldn't need it. Why all of a sudden is getting in the way of business now? For a so-called mega fight. Why? Doesn't make any sense. I really would wish a lot of you motherfuckers would start waking the fuck up or just get the fuck out of the way. The fuck out of the way. I'm not the best dude when it's talking about boxing, fight predictions and all that shit. But there's a lot of you motherfuckers out there with great and good potential. But you guys are letting this shit squander by talking about some bullshit that ain't happening this year that most likely anyways wasn't going to happen this year. So when all this dust motherfucking settles, this is my ultimatum. This is not my ultimatum, but this is what I'm gonna do. Right? Come January 15th. If motherfuckers keep talking about Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence, I'm just gonna start clowning you motherfuckers. I'm just gonna start clowning you motherfuckers. You motherfuckers is sick. You're sick, or you greedy. You greedy for social media bullshit. No fucking way in hell. No fucking way. And on that note, shout outs to everybody in the boxing world, and everybody stay sucker free.